How did the stream go? Am I back? Am I lost? Still shows me as live. Hello, that was weird. I did notice. Testing 1, 2, 3. F in the chat if you can hear me. Damn. Sorry guys, you can still hear me. That's really weird. I had 26 drop frames at the start of this, and now I'm back to 0, but my live time hasn't changed. Hear what? I hear my computer. Weird. Okay, well, we're gonna chalk that one up to Twitch being effin' heckin' weird. And, that'll be the end of it. Jesus, Justice, though, 80 degrees in your apartment? I am so sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, what was that pun? What was that pun? Livy! Hi, Livy! $80 degrees in winter. That sounds wonderful until you realize that it's Texas, and you know, it was 32 last week and now it's 80 this week. Texas is weird. Livy, yeah, we got the big ghoulie from Massive Darkness too. One of 45 big monsters. And then like 48 more heroes. And then 60 mobs. Actually, I think I'm underestimating that. Either way, it's over 100. Ah, see, that's the fun part. I don't. My chickens are coming home to roost, though. All of the Kickstarters that I backed 1.5 years, 2 years ago are all finally starting to deliver. And now I'm like, oh no. This means I actually have to paint some of these before the other ones come in. Okay. I found out that my pledge for Super Fantasy Brawl should actually be shipping within the next 1.5 weeks. Painting pupils. Ha, that's a joke. Tell me another one. In the House of Clyde, we do 2 things. Either magical glowy eyes, or no eyes at all. Ooh, congrats! I haven't really backed any Kickstarters in. The last one I backed was Mr. Torg's campaign, Badass Arena of Carnage, the Borderlands one. Because Borderlands. Need I say more? Okay. That base layer done. Now to do the really most annoying bit. Oh, you backed Monster Hunter World? Oh my god, I had that in my cart. I waffled on it multiple times. I'm still waffling on it. I'm probably just going to end up buying it at retail. Because at the time when it was going, I really didn't know if I would still have my job. So I was like, can I afford $300 for this? but I am going to be... I think honestly it's worth it based off of other board game prices. Like comparably to other games, its size and scope. It's expensive, but... Oh, Stream Elements, thank you. You are a little bit late to the show, but... Keep meaning to get rid of Stream Elements in total. Fully, but... I'm not gonna lie, I might not even play the Monster Hunter World board game. I really just want to paint the monsters and not have to go 3D printing them. I think the thing that got me the most was I was looking at it, and I was looking at the starter set, and I was like, am I really gonna have to buy 3 starter sets? And my coworker looked at me like I was nuts, and I was like, well, listen, you know, there's regular Rathalos, there's blue Rathalos, and there's silver Rathalos. Like, you can't tell me to play with red Rathalos and pretend it's blue. I just can't do that. They did, I saw that. So they do actually send you an extra Rathalos and an extra Diablos, so you can have Azure and Black Diablos. I love it. The only thing I'm really sad on is absolutely missing the Teostra. But I am excited for the Monster Hunter board game. I think that one's going to be a lot of fun to play. I'm happy that it finally happened. Thank you, Monster Hunter World, for being super popular and super dope. So, Livy, you're stepping into Elden Ring for the first time tonight, right? I hope you have a stick ready to beat off the backseaters. Ah, I love Witcher 3. Elden Ring is a very strange game. They anticipated only selling 4 million units, and they announced today that they've sold over 12 million. So it's been, by all means, an absolute smash hit. It is going to win Game of the Year this year. There's unfortunately no contest. I would not be surprised if it wins many Game of the Year awards this year. But the thing that's weirdest about it is I feel like it actually has great potential to really, really shake up the open world game genre. And I know there's been a lot of drama about it, but I hope some developers actually take a look at it pretty hard and see what people like about it. Killer Fuzzball. Hey, buddy. Hey. How you doing, Uncle Fuzz? One of these days, though, I will actually finish Witcher 3. I keep getting caught up in Gontar O'Dim's shenanigans because he's my favorite written game villain. Oh, I love Gontar. Just a humble salesman. The man of glass, they call me. Master Mirror. We are painting the Ghoul from Massive Darkness 2. This is one of the roaming monsters. Massive Darkness is a game where you kick down a door, you beat up the skeletons inside, you steal their lunch money, shove them into lockers, and occasionally roaming monsters like the Ghoul show up to shove you in the locker. It's good fun. It's good fun. The plot is simple. There is darkness in the land. Go kill it. It's good. I like it. It captures my attention. Ave, monstri romana. I haven't spoken Latin in years. I mean, they kind of have Roman monsters. This is Raphael, and he's kind of got Roman armor on. Anyway, excuse me, I put my brush in my mouth. Patooey! No, centaurs are misbegotten. No, they're not. So I vote centaurs are mammals. I mean, they appear to give birth to live young, and I've researched this extensively, so I wouldn't consider myself an expert on the subject. I'm probably still using too small a brush for this. But it's like the biggest sable brush I have. I don't know, man. I think you're still missing key insectoid features. I also wouldn't consider the upper half of thorax because there's no clear division between body parts if we want to get super fancy about it. Like, it just sort of seamlessly melds. Tap, 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 tap. My favorite part of painting any miniature is painting the nose. Actually, real talk, my favorite part of painting miniatures is straight up the wash. Oh, you guys got lag? Oh, shit. Yeah, you do got lag. Oh, sorry. I'm lagging. My internet has been sucking. I'm probably going to end up upgrading my internet here this week. I am sorry for that. Sometimes Spectrum's just not the most handy. I will keep an eye on it. I don't know what all I can do to try to fix it, though. Oh, I do know one thing. Hold on. Get out of here. No, you're absolutely right. I hate ads too. I keep meaning to sit down and take some time to do some changes, and I don't blame anybody if you see ads on my channel and then just decide to peace out. I get it. because sometimes they're real stupid ads. I think I was watching Livy one time and she got an ad for Reese's, and I was like, all right, never mind, this is worth. Tell me about chocolate, oh stream. But what I really need to do is I need to move them off of preload, and I need to run ad breaks every now and again, because I can actually use that to like change out paint water or go to the bathroom or, you know, any number of other things that actually could be useful. But then I would have to remember to reload. I would have to remember to run them. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Sometimes I get home and I sit down in front of stream and every thought in my head just disappears. Just goes poof. Answer 42. Head empty. Paint fumes only. Personally, Fuzzball, I give up and I get it all over the model's feet. And then when my opponent looks at it and goes, well, that's ugly and dirty, I'm like, you try walking through a desert and see how your shoes look, buddy. No, so most of the time, the few bases... Let me back up and say this. I haven't done a whole lot of bases for army projects. The only major army I've ever done any bases on were my Ossiarch Bone Reapers. And I did snow bases, and I did the bases last, so the snow material did in fact get all over their feet. My next army project that I want to do on stream is for the Old Dominion from Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings. And that one, I'm actually going to do the bases ahead of time. And then I'm going to glue them onto the base and then paint them. No, I think you're right. I've never done a like 3D, I guess, granite stone base. I have done astrogranite debris from Games Workshop. So like asteroid dust, which again I can headcanon is getting on boots. But I think what you have to do for more decorative bases like that is you either have to do the miniatures separate and put them on like blue tack or something, and then glue them on, or you have to glue them onto the base and then accept that your boot color might get onto your base. Which is what I am going to be doing for the Old Dominion. Because I'm going to be giving them all like cracked lava, cracked earth style bases, but with spooky glowing purple nonsense coming out of it. Okay, I kind of give up. This is too small a brush for this. I'll do this for the next step, but for just applying the base color now, I'm just gonna get the flatty out. Oh, clear acrylic stand. Those are the worst. I have a couple models on clear acrylic stands, and I did a bad, and I just primed the clear acrylic stand. Like, I get why companies use clear acrylic stands, but some of my favorite flying models like from Privateer Press. They had some of their models not use clear acrylic stands, but rather use, or not Privateer Press, they had stands. War Cradle and Wild West Exodus, they had models that used like exhaust fumes coming out of jetpacks. It looks cool, but it's an absolute hassle to do, so I totally get why it doesn't appear on, like, rank and flank infantry. God, Wild West Exodus is effing fun, though. One of the models you can play as is legendary vampire hunter Abraham Lincoln with a shotgun axe. It's everything my history reports in 5th grade wanted that time period to be. Kinda hard to fight though. Is the Valkyrie going in an army fuzzball, or was it just because you had a Valkyrie and needed some paint? And speaking of, I saw Games Workshop players in a huff today. I guess some rules update came out. I know they clarified a rule for Tau. Amateur! Hello, buddy. Happy Wednesday. I do. Yesterday it was Papa Dale's birthday, so I was out celebrating. By which I mean I was getting crunk! I saw that. Alright, this is like the only political thing I'm gonna say about this. I don't really like drama. Alright, that was a lie. I love drama, but I don't like being involved in drama. I like being on the side. I noticed that Games Workshop today announced the banning of sales at the same time that the United Kingdom announced the banning of imports and exports of luxury goods. And I was like, I wonder if there's a connection there. Is Games Workshop a luxury good? My heart says no, but my wallet says yes. Amateur, how you doing, buddy? How's your Wednesday? I did see there was a change to Custodes, where apparently they did not reduce the points of Captain General Trajan, and they made tiny daggers free to take on the Sagittarius Guard, who are the Custodes but with guns, and are Forge World exclusive. But that is the extent of my knowledge. Currently going on in gaming news, there is the Gamma is currently going on. Speaking of that, Amateur, I've gotten Silty and I've gotten MT now to play Final Fantasy XIV. It's time for you to buck up and join that. Oh, fuzzball, that actually sounds really cool. patch. There we go. Thank you for the head pats. Actually, I do, in fact, have a cast iron skillet. My kitchen game is on point. How fucking dare you? I have a cast iron skillet, I have a wok, I have an air fryer, I have a crock pot, I have an instant pot. Have I used any of them in the past 5 months? No. Takeout restaurants near me are real good. Okay, I don't have a porcelain skillet, but that's because I'm not a masochist. But did you know that you can get a cast iron skillet in critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV now with a free trial up to level 60, including the award-winning Heavensward expansion, with no restrictions on playtime or no restrictions on classes? That means you can, in fact, play Culinarian up to level 60. Ah. I need to work on my corporate speech. I've got good executive speech down. Don't you worry about the sponsor. Let me worry about the blank. Oh, the Final Fantasy XIV ad? Oh, Livy, you just gotta drop it in casually in conversation. Just like when they're not expecting it. I'll just be talking to my friends, and I'll be like, hey man, how's life going? Oh, it sucks? Do you know what would fix that? Segue. Honestly, you want to see really good segues? Linus Tech Tips. Oh my god. His segues to plugs for his merch is absolutely unreal. Rich Campbell as well also does really good intros to ads. Well, you can get it back in 7 years. Also, thank you, Justice. It's what I do. I drink and I quote things. Speaking of that quote, Game of Thrones is getting its little prequel series at some point. Like, I've seen one production photo and I know that Matt Stone is involved, and that's it. Matt Smith, sorry, not Matt Stone, Matt Smith. And that's it. And on the one hand, I'm like, 11th Doctor, do I really want to support him like this? And on the other hand, I'm like, Game of Thrones has hurt me once before. When they just ended at the 6th season and just left us on a cliffhanger. It's a shame there was no 7th or 8th season. I bet it would have been really good. I bet the guys behind it, could have maybe worked on a on a famous Disney trilogy. In fact, if they hadn't, rushed it a little bit. The Octopath Traveler prequel, that's right, because apparently ads are starting to come out for it. It is a mobile game. It's been out for like 2 years. It's called Champions of the Continent. It's been out in Japan for like 2 years on smartphones, and it's apparently finally getting globalized. I don't know. I don't think you can play Rune Lord Tressa in it though, so like no sale, but I think it goes just as hard on the soundtrack, so I'm involved. Like, I've definitely seen bits and pieces of like gameplay and stuff for it. I have just never actually sat down to watch any dedicated gameplay footage, read about any of the gacha mechanics, anything like that. So like, worst case scenario is, it's Hanet, but you have to gacha for every beast that she has. Galdera's hard. Galdera is hard as a mother. Him and his stupid sexy daughter. I believe it has gacha elements. Show me a smartphone game that doesn't have gacha elements and I'll show you. I don't actually have anything for that. Boy, that's a depressing state of affairs, isn't it? Speaking of gacha though, woo! I finally got Semiramis and Fate Grand Order. Let's not talk about how much I've spent over the past 2 years to get her, but we got there! Okay, Amateur, you're correct. Original Angry Birds did not have gacha elements, but I believe it had some manner of microtransactions. I don't think Candy Crush has gacha either. I just realized I'm not painting on my hand enough. I'm committing miniature painter cardinal sin number 1. Let's fix that. Get out of here, Ghoul. Hello. All right. You mean that? That was a week ago and it's still there. That's like 2 showers. No, I'm kidding. I shower way more than that. Okay, so I've started miniature priming on my balcony, and I'm terrified every time I do it that I'm going to put my hand down on my carpet, and I'm going to lift it back up, and there's just going to be a black handprint there. But I'm also like 5 years into my lease, so I'm like, at this point they have to pay me to replace the carpet when I eventually move out. I don't know where I'm going with that story. It sort of petered off. Speaking of Peter, my YouTube has started recommending me Spider-Mans again. And man, No Way Home made me cry. Oh yeah, no, they're still going. Forever. I like feeling loved. Oops. I just realized I totally skipped a whole step in a whole area. I'll fix that in a minute. That awkward moment when you realize that you didn't paint the inside of the leg. And you're like, ooh, that's a whoopsie. His little feely feet, his tiny little stompers, his goofy little... So, my Elden Ring playthrough, I am sitting in front of the boss door to one of the secret bosses, who I've heard gamers rage that is the hardest boss in all of Souls. It's... Well, I'm miniature painting now. So it's going like that. These goofy little goobers rock. Yeah, okay, so that boss fight that I'm sitting in front of, Melania, one, she starts off the fight and she's like, I am Melania, Blade of Mikola, and I have never lost. And I'm like, that's a canon lie. Even my character knows that you're lying. So, okay, I guess we're just fluffing your ego then today. Sure. And then she one-shots me. Oh yeah, no, she's got a stupid dash that also just reaches from downtown. She's got another crazy air dash that she does like 5 times in a row, hitting in an AoE around her every time before ending with a delayed AoE. Which typically stun locks me hard enough that I can't roll out of it. I'm also like, the sad part is I'm level 146 and I'm probably 50 levels too low for her. She has some moves that aren't one-shots, but the problem comes from the fact that every move that she has that's not a one-shot is also, it heals her for a percentage of damage dealt. So, you know, there's that. Which is fine. I can't help but feel that I would probably do better if I respect again. Because I was a faith user before, so I was throwing out fireballs and lightning bolts. Like, I was channeling my inner LARPer and just yelling lightning bolt across the room at the boss until they fell over. But I decided to mix it up, and I went for a strength dexterity build, so I can dual wield twin blades. So I'm basically being Darth Maul, but Darth Maul harder. Which is awesome. It's really fun in invasions. Unless I'm fighting a hacker. Then it's less fun. But against Melania, she's fast enough to dodge most of my jumping attacks, which is how I do the most of my damage. Now, since Darth Maul was cut in half, is Darth Maul squared just regular Darth Maul again? These are the questions that keep me up at night. Why won't Disney return my phone calls? Why did they build this junk? Where did they go? Okay, Livy, I have to ask you the important questions in your Witcher 3 playthrough. Triss or Yennefer? This is a judgment-free zone. Just want to lay that out there. No judgment. Oh, Jack and Daxter. The sage blabs on and on about this precursor, about the precursors. Where did they go? Why did they build this crap? I love Jack and Daxter. Fair enough. Oh, Yen's pretty. I would have also accepted Master Mirror as a positive answer. Gone to Rodim, you know. Psst, Livy, this is where you plug. God, I love him. Oh, no, I'm just laughing because Tex is a broke boy, and I would normally suggest putting on his pirate hat and yar-har fiddle-dee-deeing. But I actually don't know if, like, Witcher 3 is on sale anywhere. By the way, Livy, congratulations on that. That's awesome. Kinda wish I saw it before I pre-ordered Elden Ring, but can't change the past. I think my favorite part of Witcher 3 is just how apathetic all the villagers are. Like, they literally watch Geralt give the business to some giant 5-ton monster, and then some of them are still like, "Oi, Witcher, we don't want you here in our village." Like any of them could actually stop me. I did not hear that. I did, however, hear that he could sign a piece of paper and we'd never have to change the clocks again. But I don't believe anybody has the balls to do it. That would be too good a thing. Some of them want to give the business. There's a couple maidens in Witcher 3 that I take a visit to on playthroughs. You hush up, Arizona boy. Is being free of daylight savings time truly worth living in Arizona, though? Where a brisk summer's day is a nice and chilly 95? My one complaint about Witcher 3, and this is really more of an indictment on my playstyle, but I'm a very boring player of Witcher 3, so I almost never really mix it up. I'm always light attack boy, stack light attack damage, and then just swing my way to victory. One of these days, I really gotta actually try a signs build, because you can do some cool things with the signs. Every time I look at a talent tree, I'm like, which one of these makes me Unga Bunga harder? Me, Geralt of Rivia. Me, Smash Monster. Take coin. God, and then I never take the coin either. Please, Witcher. This was my daughter's dowry, it was. But the village needs it more. Can you get rid of the fiend for us? Ah, fine. Keep your dowry. No, I am a respectful Witcher because I've seen what happens if you piss Triss off, or piss Yen off. I would not wish that on anybody. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, speaking of smashing and VTuber, or just in general Twitch meta, which I'm a firm ignorer of to my own detriment, but that's okay. Why is Pokemon Smash and Pass a thing? What did Markiplier do? I don't know if he started it. I doubt he... I don't know where it started. All I know is that YouTube was like, hey, do you want to watch Iron Mouse and Snuffy Smash or Pass Pokemon? And I was like, well, I'm about to learn several things today. I think Markiplier had it right. Never explain your choices, you only dig yourself deeper into a hole you can't get out of. But I was wondering what I could do for that, and I was like, I could smash or pass fake characters, but that would be really boring. Because 90% of them will be Smash. Even though some fake characters, that's a dangerous proposition, like Salome. Yeah, you want to be careful with that one. If she offers head, say no. Aw, amateur. Your flattery has earned you saving grace when I eventually get angry and reveal my true form. I will spare Arizona. Sorry, it looked like that was getting a little bit too dark, so... Oh my gosh. Ding! Thank you for the level up. Ooh, that's creepy. I like that. I like that so far. Okay, so next steps, I want to hit almost everything with like a very, very dark blue wash. The black stone, then I'm going to try to dry brush with light gray. The skin highlight with a lighter green, and then start working on all the little boils. That'll be fun. And then the glowy bits. So yeah, he's coming along. What I really need to do is I need to figure out what sort of models I can submit to the contest in September. And I know I want to do a couple categories. I would like to do big monster. So I need to find like a big monster. I would like to do... what am I thinking? Single figures? Only one I know I definitely don't want to do and want nothing to do with is diorama. Because I just don't want to deal with making a diorama. Yeah, so I would like to start entering painting competitions. Not really expecting to win, and certainly not really expecting to win this one, because it's ReaperCon. But mostly to get good feedback. And because ReaperCon, you're not really competing against everybody else. The way they do the contest is they look at your model and then they decide, you know, what medal you win, basically. But they're judges and they're professional painters from Reaper Miniatures who do a lot of Dungeons and Dragons miniatures and whatnot. Give really good feedback. And I told myself I was going to do it last year, and I bought a model to do it last year, and I got all ready to do it last year, and then I flaked out. So we're not going to do that this year. Alright, we're going to take some Basilisk Green Instant Paint, and we're just going to kind of slather this all over everything. Just layer it on there. The instant paints are really, really cool. They are very thin, but they cover pretty well. They're good washes. They are billed as contrast paint replacements, but in my experience don't really work that well for that. But if you just want to get some paint on board game pieces, they do a wonderful job. The only real downside to them is that you really need a light and a matte undercoat for them to stick and to do their job. Otherwise, they kind of don't go anywhere. They're also probably more expensive than contrast paints, and contrast paints are already stupid expensive. But I think they do a really good job of blending colors together. But yes, I would like to start entering paint competitions, and I would like to start pushing myself further and further. I'd like to actually have an excuse to use my airbrush. Or rather, a better excuse, as I currently, shouldn't need one. Snesok, buddy, how you doing? Oh, Livy, I love those. I love your emotes. Is it your birthday? Is it somebody's birthday? Was it just cake day? It was my Reddit cake day a week or two ago. I have been on Reddit for 10 years. Help me. Alright, that's not what I want. I don't want that color like pooling right there. Ooh. Cake. Hey frogs, how you doing? Happy Wednesday. I am painting the Ghoul from Massive Darkness 2. He is a roaming monster. Massive Darkness 2 is a board game where you kick down the door, you beat up the monsters, you steal their lunch money. And occasionally bigger monsters like the Ghoul show up to teach you the business. I have a great many figures from this game to paint. So what I was thinking was I was trying to do some sort of dark stone or obsidian type armor that he's covered with. Alongside the green body. So I'm just going over almost the entire model with Basilisk Green Instant Paint. Because the color I used for the armor is called Abyssal Blue, and it's not a true black, but it has maybe I'm just using it wrong, but it seems to come out very grainy, I guess I could say. So it definitely needs a little bit of extra help. Very flat, very matte. This paint line, scale 75, has that very matte finish. Which is good and bad. Oh, not much is happening. We're just throwing the Basilisk Green Instant Paint over everything to add a little bit of depth of color to the Ghoul. Give me 1 second. He's getting real dark. It's dark outside. Oh, that was the wrong one. Uh-oh, come back. Hello. There we go. I meant to unplug that one. There. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Okay, 1 more second. Oh, sorry, I had to put my paintbrush in my mouth. I only have hooves. My hand prosthetics will only go so far. Hurt. There we go. Oh, thank you, Tex. Damn it. Soda has water, right? Okay, you. I need you to stay up, please, and thank you. Eddie wants better light. I look like a shrimp. A croissant. A croissant. Carl Weezer VTuber when. I probably do need to fix my spine, actually. Thank you for reminding me. Tap, 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 tap. Just kind of continue roughly applying the basilisk green just to try to give a little bit of extra depth of color. I don't think this is an experiment I'm going to like all that much. I don't think I'm going to repeat it in any places. But non-metallic metal and like basic stonework I'm not the best at anyway, so I will take any opportunity to practice. And this sort of dark green kind of gives off a jade effect anyway, which I think works with the overall aesthetic. So, it's all good. It's all good in my hood. Amateur, did the trailer drop? Is it Thracia? I just saw something flicker and flash. 5 minutes? Darn it. Are you hoping for anything? Or are you betting on anything? It's not time for a Special Heroes banner, is it? Okay, hold on. 1 second. I'm trying to better illuminate him. That's probably the best I'm gonna get. Okay, so that's the Basilisk Green applied everywhere. That's pretty much all the wash is done. Now what I want to do is wait for that to finish drying here in these like pools, which actually probably shouldn't be here, so we're just gonna brush them out. Get them out. No pooling allowed. This is a no carpooling zone. I think half the problems with my light is that the black paint is actually absorbing most of the light. So let's fix that as quick as we can. What will be the April Special Heroes? It won't be Bridal, will it? Bridal's in May. Should be dancers. Should be dancers, darling. Okay, now for the rather more fun bit. That's the same color. I grabbed the same color and was like, no, I'm gonna highlight. Doop doop doo. Child units. Child units. Trainee BSD. Sending children into war, just Fire Emblem things. Alright. Now we're going to take some Hellbound Flesh and start doing some highlights. Bring some color to this lad. So we're almost done with the boring bit. As far as child units go in Fire Emblem Heroes, we're missing Mitama. Oh, it's 3. Oh, somebody call Crab. Okay, that can cry. Real summoners cry. Oh, yes, Livy, I love that. I can't let you into the city. King's orders. And then just walk out behind him. Oh, Witcher 3. There's like 4 ways to get into the city and all of them are hilarious. Half of me kind of loves how they don't have like a check in the game to figure out, you know, did you swim into the city or not? And if the guards will react to you or treat you differently. But the other half of me is just like, yeah, I got my fast travel waypoints, I'm good. The real question, though, Livy, is do you want to play a game of Gwent? I happen to enjoy discount Magic the Gathering. Don't do it, Snesok, it's a trap. Nothing good comes of it. Barkeep, I'm looking for information on my daughter, Ciri. Aye, Witcher, you look a noble sort. I'll help ye, but first, do you happen to have a Gwent deck? Barkeep, you don't understand. My daughter Ciri's in mortal danger. I have to get to her. Oh, I understand enough, laddie. I understand that you have a deck, and you're too much of a chicken. I'll be honest, I completely skipped most of the Gwent quests. There is like a whole tournament arc for Gwent, though. I know there's a way to absolutely cheese it. I think it's the Monsters deck just has the potential to just absolutely cheese Gwent. Okay, now I'm going to try dry brushing, which I'll be honest, I ain't so good at. Yeah, it's bad. That's not what I want. Snesok, I need to finish Xenoblade Chronicles 2 before we get Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Waifu Wars. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Revenge of the Friend Zone. What that game's subtitle should be. And for anybody who doesn't understand the joke, it appears that both of the supposed leaders of the two warring factions are characters from 1 and 2 who got friend-zoned by the main protagonist. God, Nia's, that one still hurts. God, I love Nia, though. Like, I have a sneaking suspicion that we're gonna end up seeing probably Rex again in 3. And I wouldn't be surprised if we also see Shulk in some way. I honestly don't see them as being pure evil, though. Rather just a case of we can't cooperate. And those, at least one of those two characters is famously hot-headed. So I can see her doing something like, I've got to do whatever I can to protect the peace that Rex fought for. And then she just goes absolutely sicko mode. I hope most of the Blades come back. A lot of them had really adorable character arcs and stories. I loved Praxis in theory. I do, however, hope that we get a Xenosaga crossover so we can get Cosmos and Telos. Oh yeah, you know that Nia absolutely runs a full-on monster deck. Although, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Rex again, because one of those characters is stated in-game to have nigh on divine regenerative powers, like healing powers. So if anything could keep a character alive for hundreds or however long it's been, it's definitely her. Like, without pulling any story out of their butt. Me too. I feel like Rex and Pyra and Mithra are too popular to not appear. That looks much better. I'm very pleased with that. Now we get to start doing some of the fun stuff. It's amazing to me, though, that they started actually writing the story of 3 right as they wrapped up development on 2. It's nice that they had a plan to lead themselves into it. Okay. I said fun stuff. What was I going to do next? Ah, that's right. But if that's also the case, then I wonder what some of the stuff from the bonus DLC for Definitive Edition will lead into. The Fog King. And all that nonsense. Alright, note to self for tomorrow night's stream. Figure out what I gotta do to make the lighting better. Without potentially screwing with colors. So, Amateur, what are the units on the Thracia banner beyond Merida? You know, I'm kind of impressed that Fire Emblem hasn't had a lot of very serious leaks. For a gacha game, it's fairly tight-lipped. Augustus, Galzus, Karen, nice, nice. It's cool that they're bringing in new faces. I wonder if this means that they're going to do a Thracia remake. Very carefully applying pimples. This is like reverse pimple popping. Which, now that I said that, and your computer heard it, I apologize for any YouTube search recommendations that are about to pop up for you. That looks sufficiently grody. Oh my god, thank you for bringing that up. I do not know why that became a thing. Why YouTube decided... I've started getting dental operations in my YouTube recommendations. My YouTube's a wild place, guys. I'm like, man, I just want to watch cartoons. And it's like, did you mean cavity fillings? And I'm like, well, this is fascinating. But it's a subject I am intimately familiar with already. Guys, I have bad teeth. And a crippling sugar addiction. But I'm just gonna blame it on the teeth. Ooh, yeah, I've gotten some of those dog grooming ones too, and cat grooming ones with like the really bad mats. I will say though, if you want calming, relaxing dog grooming, Girl with the Dog, she does good stuff. That is a really fun channel. I like that channel. Okay, so I'm just really carefully going in here and just doing all the pimples red. I'm probably not going to do anything else to them because I think they look fine as is, but if I wanted to, I could go in with some like orange for a little orange highlight or something like that. I just think they look fine as is right now. The cow hoof ones, those are like pimple popping. Those I can't look away from. Same with the horse hoof ones, but again, intimately familiar and biased, so of course I'm interested. Okay, so I need to get a TikTok. Oh yes, Nesok, it's a plague. It's an epidemic. We've all started getting them. Got to the point where I was watching one video and I was like, ah, yeah. It's an inner dentin cyst. He's gonna have to use the number 2 cutter to get rid of it. Boop, boop. Okay, I need this crimson to be pretty runny. My friend sends me a bunch of TikToks. He sends me miniature TikToks, and that feels like a strange rabbit hole to get down. I have seen One Shot Questers. I think One Shot Questers is my current favorite TikToker. A lot of really funny D&D ones. What's that? It's a pentagram. Why is it there? You said satanize the house. I said sanitize. Oh. Bad traits to give you D&D classes. Not me, just absolutely forgetting to paint the entire back of the little tentacle mouths. I have no idea what you're insinuating. Miniature painting and miniature hobby TikTok usually revolves around constant discussions of the pile of shame. My therapist tells me that that's bad for me. I should stay away from those. There is no pile of shame. There is simply a pile. Pile of unpainted treasures. God, I'm getting there. I am getting there. That it was. I hope things are loosening up a bit for you though, Levy, so you can get out and play some of your collection with friends and family. Livy, what's the game you pull off the shelf anytime somebody asks for a recommendation? Do you have a go-to? Alright, sorry, we're not really going to be able to see this for a second. Sorry. Sorry. Paint water. Stasok, get some rest, buddy. Thank you so much for dropping by. Diamant. I'll keep that in mind. I need some games to play with family. Tastes like pigment. The last game I played with family that I had gotten out of my personal collection was Trial by Trolley. You learn some things about your parents playing Trial by Trolley. Let me just preface that one real quick. No, the last time we tried to play Cards Against Humanity was with my grandmother as well. That really did not go over very well. Yeah, Trial by Trolley with my parents, though. What do you mean you'd run over your only son? Well, the alternative is Nickelback. Alright, fair enough. Good point. But still, I know we always assumed that... Kind of love and hate that they're a meme card in Trial by Trolley. Oh boy, I haven't busted this paint out in a hot minute. This is that good old P3 Morrow and White. Man, Privateer Press could have been so good. That's okay. I mean, I'm Texan. I'm officially not allowed to... I'm legally, in fact, not allowed to diss country music. Clyde Dale's Guide to Painting Eyeballs. Step 1. Don't. Step 2. Go for nice glowy effects to not have to put in any detail. observe. Alright, so I do have a plan. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be dry brushing fluorescent green over the armor, and I want it to catch certain parts of these like runes so that some of them appear to be glowing harder than the others. That's what I'm thinking in my noggin anyway, but we'll see if I can actually make it work. Thank you. He's very ghoulish. But thank you very much. I'm very pleased with how he's coming along. But yeah, typically I just don't paint eyes. I just don't do it. I just feel like I don't have the motor control to do it properly. Although really half of my problem is I have a really bad stubborn tendency to use way too big a brush. I'm like, why am I getting paint everywhere that I don't want it? Could it be me who's wrong? No, it's the brushes that are at fault. But I don't think I'm going to have the eyes glowing green. Sort of been on a pastel colors kick. So I think the eyes are going to be glowing pink. Oh man, one of the monsters that I'm going to be painting later on for this series is a giant Care Bear. And his set comes with murder ponies and cupids. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, that's too thick. I needed thick, not thick. I'm actually really happy that they included just an absolute meme monster like the Care Bear. It just makes the whole thing more fun. I don't think there's anything wrong with game companies just branching out to do silly things every once in a while. I think the world would be a better place. Oh, that got real deep real quick. Okay, so bright effin' fluorescent green. Fluorescent paints are real weird. Feels like they either I get some of it off in dry brushing or I get absolutely none of it. think it literally has to do with something about how the pigments are suspended. Like, that's kind of starting, but not 100% where I want. That's better. That is better. I think I kind of just have to go. I'm gonna have to commit or not commit. And I'm fine committing. And by that, what I mean is I couldn't really dry brush it because it wasn't, like, I wasn't able to dry brush it properly because the pigments are just too thick or too bright. That's way too bright. Because typically with dry brushing, you wipe off all the pigment, so you're just getting a very, very fine layer. But yeah, I think Tex is right. Just double down. Way to go, Tex. You called it. I just freaked myself out because I saw his tail out of the corner of my eye, and I literally thought it was like a spider or something. I was about to have a freak out. Okay, one of the scariest moments I've ever had. So I was sleeping with my window open one night. I know, right? Awful, but in my defense, it was 102. And I wake up to something crawling on my leg. And I freak out. Not even, like, no, it's a full freak out. And I jump up. And basically spin around trying to kick whatever it is off. And I do kick it off, but it lands on my back and starts crawling up. And I have to, like, pull my shirt off and throw it away from me to find out what the heck it was. It was some big honkin' June bug. That is why I will never sleep with my window open again. Temperature be darned. Oh my god, Tex. Oh, good heavens. I'm normally all for Spider Bros. I'm a Spider Bro advocate. You know, you don't harm me, I don't harm you. We stick on our opposite sides of the apartment, and everybody has a good time. It's when that line is crossed that choices have to be made, battle lines have to be drawn. No, my screen was dented, so it crawled in through the opening at the bottom of it. So, Amateur, overall, what do you think? Do you think the Fire Emblem Heroes fan base is going to be happy with this banner? Disappointed with this banner? Do we have any more power creep on this banner? Do we have any more description creep on this banner? Okay, now to do something fun with the tongue, and then it's the bass, and then he is pretty much done. Like, this is definitely... I would feel more than happy putting this on a table and playing with this once I'm done with the bass. So I'm quite pleased here, quite pleased. But I do want to add just a little bit... Carlos banner, okay, that's good. Speaking of banners and gacha games, Fate Grand Order jumped to the top of the most earnings last month. Like straight up from like 7th place to 1st place. All on the back of Arjuna Altar. I had some like blue splotches to the tongue tentacles. run over that with light glaze just to together just a little bit better. And just keep grossifying the tongue, tentacle, mouth thingies. Because, I mean, they're not horrifying enough already. Just need a little bit more extra oomph. Oh, hero, you're looking delicious today. That's the voice I'm going to do for my players. Every time the ghoul comes on the board. Oh, Hero Kun, you're looking awfully nommable. Okay, now for the really fun part. And I mean the really fun part. Take our flat brush, this brush right here. Take some of our red, this red right here, and we just go fucking ham. We go ham, we go rough, we kind of do whatever we want. I should actually put the other colors out on the palette so I have them. That would be helpful. But basically we're making a lava base because I need the practice. I want to do more cracked lava, cracked earth type bases. I think it's a fun effect. It's not hugely taxing to do. And again, I need the practice. Now, ideally, I should have done this. Would be best done, I think, on the base ahead of time. But these miniatures come pre-assembled and pre-based. So, I mean, it sucks, but what are you gonna do? But basically, I don't really know a good formula for, like, lava effects beyond just fucking wing it. So, that's what we're gonna do. Pardon my French, I swear like a sailor. Actually, I take that back. I've known several sailors. They've all been very respectable people. I swear like a gremlin. Once the surface of our base looks like the most disgusting pizza ever conceived of in the history of mankind. Parlez-vous Francois? I don't speak French. I speak dead languages. And even those I don't speak very well. Thank you, Livy. Answer to your question, amateur, is if you've never seen it, look up George Carlin's 7 words that you can't say on TV. That will be your answer. I used to have that entire bit memorized, but I no longer do. Motherfucking tits, motherfucking tits, motherfucking tits. That's the only part of it that I remember. Is it's a stand-up bit ranting about how there's 7 words that you can't say on TV. And motherfucker and tits were 2 of them. I'm gonna mix a little bit of the white in here as well, just for like a couple heat spots. But I'll be honest, I don't know how this is gonna crack properly, so I don't know if it's gonna show up. Yeah, I took Latin in college and in high school, so I can read Latin well enough, pretty well. Translating is slow but fine. Speaking, though, I could never really get the hang of. Too many declensions, man. But you can get some real good Latin insults. For the best Latin insult, might I direct you to the poetry of Catullus. Catullus. Specifically, Catullus 16, which was written as a response to several of his critics who accused him of basically being a love-struck teenage boy in his writings, because he was pining after his love, despite the fact that she was married. And Catullus 16 is just awful, because it is just anger. Ooh, show him Geralt's eyeballs. Maybe your cat will notice Geralt's eyes and be like, oh, I have those. Okay, so this is a good enough lava base. What we're really gonna do now for extra style points is do just a little bit of dry brushing orange here on the underside. But it looks like there is some light coming off of it. And you can see we got a little bit too crazy with the paint there on the base of his tail, but that is fine. Because it just sort of helps with the effect that I am impersonating. Attempting. Okay, now. Ooh, do it. Pull on the banner. Spend money for gotcha. That's right. No matter how much money you pay Nintendo, they'll never make the Fire Emblem game that you want. They'll never just translate Fire Emblem Cypher. I'm not mad, you're mad. Alright, now I get to use my favorite new toy to play with. Mordant Earth by Citadel Color. Dear GW, sponsor me. Your bottle prices are expensive, yo. So the lesson I learned this time, or last time, is that this crackle paint needs to be slapped on thick. And I'm talking like Solid Snake level thick. And Uncle Fuzzball, Killer Fuzzball here in chat, was also real kind to mention to me that he's had much better luck with it as a very even layer, so I'm going to try to do my best to get that. I probably should not be using a brush to apply this, but I don't know where my Sculpey tools are. So we basically just plop this down and just dab it around. Two thin coats? Heck no, son. You need one chunky coat. $300 orbs? How the heck did you even get 300 orbs in Fire Emblem Heroes? I seem to recall that game being very stingy. Meant to do it. Oh, I just got this paint in the bristles up. This brush is ruined. Congratulations, brush. You are now a technical paintbrush forever. That is your job. Just gotta go splorch. If I can get this to work right, and if I can figure out the magic ratios for this technical paint, what I am going to do is I'm going to start applying it to more things. So the model I want to paint tomorrow, the Angry Bird, I want to try doing this effect on lava, or, well, lava, but a lava sword. So we'll see how, that'll be tomorrow's test. Thicker, deeper, gooier. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna go through every bottle of Mordant Earth that I have on just the Massive Darkness mobs. Honestly, Azure Lane is straight up the most generous gacha that I play. They throw so much summoning currency at you, it's unbelievable. Because they then want you to pay $30 for skins, but like if you just want to collect the waifus, they make it so easy. Now I'm worried I'm going to go like too over thick on this. I just want to hit it in a couple more spots. The guides that I've seen have been like, you want layers 2 to 3 millimeters thick. But there we go. And that is the Ghoul. I am calling him done. So I will post a picture tomorrow when the technical paint dries and starts to crack. But overall, thank you guys for hanging out and watching him. He was more fun to paint than I thought he would. Going into it, I was like, boring. But no, he was a ton of fun. Thank you. And thank you guys for making it fun. But with that out the way, let us see which of our friends is currently up to shenanigans, and let us pass the fun along. Who we got? Okay, I can't type. Here we go. Boing. Let's drop in on Val, Brimstone Angel. She is playing Elden Ring. So let's go. What's a good everybody? What's a good thing we can say for Elden Ring? Okay, when we get into Val's, everybody type, "Is this a dog?" Just, is this a dog? Is this a dog? Behold, dog. But thank you guys for sticking around. So is this a dog? Let's kick this off. And again, thank you guys so much for coming by. Have a good evening, everybody.